Welcome back, friend. Hello! I'm here where we left off yesterday. After having built this map room. We can see all of our base now. Well, all except the part that I wanted to work on today, which should be about there. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, no. Maybe stuff right here. This is a tough mountain, so maybe we'll put some windmills there. Not certain yet. I know windmills are all the talk right now with Minecraft Live coming around the corner. I think it's just a reference to Rotterdam, though. Let's see. I guess the other thing we could work on is in this map. Oh, not quite in that map. In here, we gotta do some mossing. I think I want to do that. Looks like we'll need to take a quick nap, though. Let's go get the moss. Ow. I see the way you're using the language in your favor. It's actually a little bit more than just friends on here. It's explicitly family. Sorry, fam, no. That requires far too much money, and also, why would you want to just get on an SMP? Besides, as far as the SMP goes, this is probably the only person on here that's really putting any real hard effort into it. But I like streaming. It's fun. No, thank you, friend. Like I said, family only. our workhorse. People join every now and again, but I'm on here every day. Perhaps in the same way that we're also blood related to, like, every animal, I guess? Let me just invite every snail on the planet. Truly, though, we're just not looking to add anyone. The server that I run is a little on the cheaper side. My redstone's probably more than enough to hurt it. Don't worry, this isn't the only place I live. Even though I am on here quite a bit. Don't think so, friend. Right. Let's see. Back here, I wanted to work today. I didn't do it all alone. There's actually several people on the server that have helped. I'd just get really autistic about this game. Yes. Together with, like, my husband and brother-in-law and siblings. Yes. It is better together. Ooh, he's making progress. It's Cookie's place. He's got a little roof going. He's put those windows in. Those look nice. Nice. Truly. I prefer 2 degrees north of there, but 6-7 is pretty good. I already started some work earlier today on the area I want to work on, but you can see it's hurting my shovel, so let's get that fixed up. Okay. Over there's where we were working on the monument. I got tired of that project. I don't want to keep placing sand. It's boring. We finally got it updated. The chunks are all unloaded. Have to go back over there. My chunks reloaded. Get some mod updating. That was late. What's our bone supply doing? I know I was depleting it before. Yeah, we're building it back up. Arrows are in plenty supply, that's for sure. How many bones are still left over here? Okay. So. How many chunks are loaded on the way back to our place? Okay, a good chunk of them. Looks like there's a gap here that we'll have to reload, but we can see our place. It's so tiny. Just a little bit more. I think we'll get to play with some TNT today, though. Should be good enough for my shovel. TNT. Thought I had one. My spear should work. Let's go start with the moss, and then we'll move forward from there. Here we go. We're gonna fill in the bottom layer, and then we're just gonna bone meal into the stone stuff. I'm awful low on the light over here. Never have torches, though. Why would I do that? Okay. Well, didn't mean to fall in a hole. Put some of this other nonsense from my inventory away. What's with the acacia wood? I know that I just chopped it down and that I'm with the acacia wood. But, like, what the heck? Get that out of here. Mouse. I'll accept some bone meal. We are putting moss in the bottom of this because, like I said in my video for this build, or at least for the intro while I got the outside built, I want this to be like sort of like inner sanctuary. I'm just gonna start by getting a nice flat layer of moss in here, and then we're gonna do some stuff with it where back there is also gonna have a door like that one. And it's gonna have water coming through it. I'm also gonna put a waterfall out the back of there and a lake on the top of the mountain so that that's where the water came from. Good. Hope you can't hear the construction outside. Quite annoying from my point of view. We've gotten in the mail that there's some construction going on around our home. And a portion of it is mostly upgrades to our plumbing system. So we should shut up and not worry about it. Ooh, quite dark back here. What does that mean? That when you overfeed the moss, it turns pale. What? Confused. The one's there. You know what? There's literally coal right here. And now it's not even a problem. There we go. I think this moss is really going to help, actually. Even just what I've placed already is making me feel like this is coming together faster than I want it to. Sometimes those numbers just fade into the background for me. Right. All more moss to place. Hope we get more planty-based mobs. I really like the creaking. I liked when there was the glare that was a potential mob for us. It was sad. I know the allay is nice, but the glare. He was just a floaty little dude. I kind of like how the bumblebee also like bumbles around. And I like the idea that there would be more mobs that do that. One of the... Yeah, just as a person who plays Minecraft, you always are thinking about what you would want to add to the game because of how fantastical it is, and how the game itself presents, you making additions as the major gameplay. So, obviously, mods go hand in hand, and that's why the community flourishes the way it does, is it's like it's part of the loop. But that means that as just a casual player, you're probably going to think up something kind of new and interesting on your own. at least I know I have. And when it comes to plants in this game, I feel like there is an understated amount of plants that have other colored leaves. I really enjoyed the pink when they added it. The cherry grove is awesome. I really love the pale biome. Like I was just saying, I love the creaking. I love the resin is super nifty. I kind of wish there was like yellow and red trees though. For the yellow trees, I've thought of like a couple of different things, but I really think that the easiest thing for them to do would be to just add what was in dungeons. They had like an end biome that had cities with big trees that had yellow leaves on them. That was nifty. But I was also thinking of a couple other ways to implement things like a yellow and red tree. One of the ways I thought about it was maybe making kind of like the Pale Garden, like a sort of mystical golden grove. Trees that have golden leaves, and maybe you can get golden apples from them. Not the enchanted kind, mind you, but like insanely low drop chance. But then I think the other way that I thought about doing it was probably a little more like regular and less fantastical, or perhaps maybe more fantastical to an extent. A spruced up version of the old growth spruce taigas with like old maple trees. And you make them rare, kind of like the Pale Gardens. But then in those groves, you can have big tall trees with red leaves, as well as introduce like another tree type that have the yellow leaves, and you can sort of get the autumnal vibes. And one of the ideas I thought for this were to have be like an extra mob that takes advantage of maybe the height of the trees. Kind of fights you like someone who's using a mace, and maybe that trains you as a player. They drop down on you from the trees and bonk you on the noggin, but it's not like a fight. I think it's like it's like a big seed pouch, kind of like the shape of the key golem from Dungeons. But instead of it being a key coming out of the top of his head, it's like a little, all those little twirly things, you know? They fall from trees. They spin as they fall. So like one of those little leaves with a seed pod. This thing like jumps out of the tree and tries to hit you. But like he only can fall down the tree, he can't get back up into it, so try and jump at you again, so he runs away. Because he's scared you're gonna break him. And I have dubbed it the Twiddle. Like, twiddle your thumbs. Too bad that I don't know how to code, and learning it is too hard. I tried. I can't read. This is a lot of copper. We'll have to stress test Dragon's smeltery. Toss all this copper in it at once. See what it does for us. Well, whoever followed, thank you for following. It says, Nyla, sir, thanks for following. I had my follows turned on, but I guess the source code got disconnected. I'll have to fix that later. Just noticed. Thank you. You know, I grabbed the copper, but not the iron, and that might not make sense, but I'm at a point where iron is not a resource I need, and copper is a building block I use a ton of. Just like, look at those bells. They don't cost nothing, you know? Am I out of moss? Grub. Well? Let's make more. Careful not to leave these here. The azaleas can grow up if you're not careful. Here's an idea. Fill it in with dirt and then bone meal it onto it. I think I've got some dirt in that other shulker box. Just a little bit. Check some of these, though. Nope, just building blocks. It'd be cool if when you bone meal moss, there's cobblestone nearby. I know it can't convert it. I think it'd be cool if it would, like, convert it to mossy cobble. I know it's an imperfect solution, but I think it would be nifty. Go. Well, the dirt I've really got right now, I'll go get more in a bit. Let's finish doing some bone mealing. No, I don't want that there. Get that back. I had a slime for all of 2 seconds, and then it disappeared. The moment I looked at it, it knew what I was gonna do. Knew I would murder it. It saw all my unethical corrals when I was doing Slime Rancher. It knows what I'm up to. So many azaleas. I don't even need this stuff. This is going right into a bone mealer. I have all. That's no bueno. You get double carpet. A bucket of water. Keep putting my bucket down. Alright. Yes, it converts diorite. Good to know. But I didn't use any of that in the walls. Recall this biz. With that torch. There we go. Gotta check that. Hate to have to worry about a skeleton. Right. How about over here? Definitely gonna have to fill this area in. It does make it feel a lot nicer in here, though. Ooh, careful. That's sunrise. Huh. Oh. Where did my item frames go? And why did it only affect some chunk nonsense must have happened? Only half of them are gone. Okay. Let's make more of those soon. Right now I don't really care. Need... I need more moss. That's what I need. Right. I can't believe we went through that shelter already. Really glad I should put these in the bone mealer. There we go. This was already meant for, the moss farm. But it does, this converts it to bone meal. The bone meal comes down this way and feeds into a pickle farm, and then once the pickle farm is full... Oh, that was lightning. Once the pickle farm is full, it has overflow, where it gets crafted into a bone block. And I used a whole bunch of those bone blocks to make the exterior of the Carillon. Let's get placing. Excellent. Ooh, yeah. Having the flat area, it's changing it for me. It's giving me the momentum I want. Make me want to work in here and not do anything else today. Numbers or lights? Gucci. Gucci. You can look at a billiard room in here when I'm done. Speaking of billiard rooms, I'm kind of excited to see what we can do with the sulfur cube. It's like, they're effectively just pool balls. Fancy pool balls. So, like, we could use just as fancy as any pool machine that we use in the real world. I know typically they're just a big table with carpet on them, but there's some of them that have, like, fancy balls sorters. Definitely think that would be a nifty use case for them, at least. I think in single-player worlds, they're not going to add a whole lot other than maybe some, like, nonsensical redstone. Like the build stone. Alright. Do I use a happy cast? I think scaffolding's a better call. I want to drop off some of this nonsense, though. Now. Oh, dang. Too early. This is fed by a bamboo farm. obviously. If I ever want to, I can just, take from here. The system, instead of using, like, a detector, uses a timer. So... don't look at that, my unethical timer. It fills up with blocks over a certain period of time. These are all loaded, that's not up. But sometimes you gotta pull some of it out. Alright. There were a bunch of building blocks already over there. I don't want the copper that's gonna smelt. Heat it up. Yeah. There we go. There we go. That's what we like to see. Smelt that stuff up. Need some of this other stuff out. The copper has somewhere to be. I'm gonna need a shulker box, aren't I? Okay. I've got some in my redstone. Oh. This bundle, I think? Yes. Let's make one shulker box. Put all this glass inside it. Quick. I'm just gonna leave these out in the open. With these shulker shells. That way if I ever need to craft them up, I can. Maybe I should put some extra shulker shells there. Right, get this put away. Ooh. There we go. Ah. Still a little bit to go. It's not quite enough to make it all the way to here, though. Maybe it doesn't stop long enough? Nope, just empty. Get the wax ready. I remember placing this here. Looks like copper's just about done. And it's just coming in now. There we go. I got way too much wax. Okay. Need to get my, like... copper's not gonna be enough. I want to get all of the... need to, like, sort through the copper. Get the stuff that I need out of it. Quite a bit of copper I've got here, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe we put the TNT away for today. Get a shulker box crafted to carry all this orange copper specifically. There we go. Nice and contained. These are just weathered ones. I could probably condense these now. Let's see. Pull all of these out because they're like the weird random bric-a-brac blocks. And these are the like solids. Let's put that one in there for now. Oh, okay. Bric-a-brac blocks. More orange blocks. Those are acacia shelves. Oh, I must have been using this on the bells. Let's keep that empty in my pocket for now. Let's see, plenty of copper, plenty of stuffs. Let's go. A good sunrise anyway. Right. Get these big bells here. I'll be replicating more of them on this layer here. But I've got to do that by making an additional layer up there, so I can hang them from them. I think for right now, I just need to focus on making these pillars. Maybe I should have jumped over there. I gotta get up to that level, which is the level just underneath the slabs there. Kinda tough to tell when you're doing it like this. When you're actually there or not, because I think that's it. Oh, this'll help. There we go. We're on the right level. Oh, that's gonna be hard. There we go. And we know that this is on the left side. Probably get these put in place. 3-block gap. 1, 2, 2, 3, 1. Two, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. That'll help. And then there'll be stairs to get up to these levels, of course. I think I'm gonna have to bonk my head to, yep, get this placed. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's get these blocks in. So we can help make these archways later with a little more detail. We'll have to hit those with some texture, because boy howdy, just bone kind of looks stupid. But once I've got all the texture added, it'll look really nice. So I'm excited. I'm gonna go this way. Stop. Uh-oh. Did I get that? Oh, I did not. It's right here. That won't matter. I won't be able to see it. This does not need to line up. This is going to be covered up. We'll do top. One more. On this wall, at least. Definitely gonna need to put more on the other walls, of course. Nice, nice. This is gonna help make sure that no mobs spawn. This is also something I'll end up coming back and texturing. And I didn't get enough of it. One of the things about this game that I've found is really important is that you gotta make it bad before you make it good, otherwise you won't make it. I guess that's true of a lot of art, but I think a lot of times players get their minds caught on this idea that they're gonna have the biggest, coolest thing in the wholest world. And then when they try to execute it, it falls a little flat. I don't think it's their fault or anything. I think just executing one's creative vision isn't easy. So, make it bad first. After it's bad, then it can be good. You can go backwards and fix the things you missed. Like, this is just all polished diorite? What kind of floor is that? I'm gonna come back through with things like quartz slabs, though. And regular diorite, and, rough it up. Same for these walls. This is just calcite. This is just bone. We'll have to fix that. But one step at a time. Only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. One of the other things I'm going to put up here are like planter beds and benches. I want this to feel almost like a community center. Definitely gonna run out. Gonna have to take a visit to the old stone cutter. Yeah, I think having trouble executing your creative vision isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think it just takes practice. And that just means there's a lot of failure involved, and it doesn't always feel good. It stinks that it hurts when our creative visions don't exactly line up with what we wanted. We don't always get control. And I think learning that control is the thing that you have to do to be able to get good at it. Like learning a character in a fighting game. It always seems difficult at first, but then, after a while, after you get used to it, actually really easy, and you've sort of mastered the way that the game works, quote-unquote. Only for yourself to get your butt handed to you by your friend who's been playing way longer than you. Because, well, he's taken the time to master and practice. And you haven't yet. Again, that's no fault of your own, just means you gotta put more time in. That's why I think playing alone sometimes is just as much fun as playing with other people. I think playing alone is a time for self-retrospection. Therapeutic in a way. not every time you play this game is it therapeutic. I've played many a horror map, and I would say those are the opposite. Okay, yeah. I don't hate that, but I definitely want to rough it up with some extra blocks. This has got to be night 3. I've been working... Where are the phantoms? When they're not here, it's like, something's missing. Well, guess we'll have to take a little snoozle about it. I am out of slabs. Ow. Chef for the night. Oh, the chunk thing must have undone my armor stance. Not this. Oh. Weird. My toothbrush is missing. And the toilet paper roll. Right, let's see. I need... to visit a stone cutter. I wish there were more blocks that we could get out of calcite. It's like, what do you mean I've got polished and all this other nonsense for diorite, but not the far superior white block of calcite? Those tough slabs were from a previous attempt at building the exact same thing I was just building. I like the white ones instead, I think. They'll look better on a map. Ooh, look how imposing that looks now. Whoop. Part of make it bad before you make it good, I think, is not focusing too much when you're doing the texturing as you build, if you do choose to do it that way. this feels nice. Do I want to make these windows bigger? I think it'd be better to not have them as large so I can have the bells hang in them. Definitely need to add more, though. Oh, I see. The mountain is here. I'm still gonna put bells there, but there just won't be the windows. That's why there's only so many windows on that wall as well. This feels imposing now, but the moment we put all the bells in, you're not going to be able to move around very much. It goes all the way to the top. Okay. Saplings are such an interesting block. Does those have it? Those were probably there for me to help get the walls built while I was building. Let's just chop those off. Maybe we put a backwards stair in these spots. Okay. I don't hate it, but it makes me want to pull the blocks down some. Correct. Absolutely correct. Okay. Yeah, that looks awesome. Okay. Hmm. Yay, scaffolding! I'm missing like 15, I think. If it's like up there. get up there. It's barely not enough. Were those landing on a torch? Ugh. Again, scaffolding is a block in the game. This is an interesting one. Oops. That's why players don't look up. That works. I think I'm gonna take out that spoke of bone blocks, which will include that block there. Again, ow. This is spooky. There's the rest of my scaffolding. Don't think I'm gonna quite reach up to there. That's the spot. With as tall as these are, I think I'm going to do the stair thing again. Okay. Definitely need a smidge more scaffolding. Hopefully this is enough. Not quite. I can sort of get some of it. That's not going to cut it. A trader. These mini blocks are cute. I think I want them, though. You're not selling me on it. Mini barrel is, I think, the one that I would want. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Barrel there. Redstone box. Another redstone box. Chests. That'll be fine. So I gotta get up there to finish up this corner part. Explicitly, I can't put any more pillars here, though, because of the bell there. Down here on this bottom floor, it's going to be mostly nature, so I won't have to worry about putting the bells, but that top floor's got to have bells. Maybe I should put, you know, remain consistent. Looks like I missed some scaffolding, though. That didn't help. Let's get up to there. I'm awesome. Maybe I can get away with a corner column on this one. Definitely means I gotta climb up there and put the stair in, though. That's the block that needs to be a stair. Yeah, I kind of like the corner. Makes me want to move this one, though. It'll work. It'll work. Oh, I see what happened here. That's on the wrong block. That needs to be over a block. Okay. Well, I'm glad I picked these up. That'll make it to where I can get the regular stair set up in here. See, and I'm going to duplicate that on that wall. And there'll be bells on this row, this row, this row, and this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bells times 4. So 28 bells. A Carillon typically has 23 bells minimum, upwards of like 60 or so. And then I'm going to do some fun stuff with the layers above. I think this is a good look at what the finished product might end up looking like before we get some extra... Yeah, we're gonna have to fix the gradient. I think I want to do, like, bone... I might do the same gradient as the exponential building over here. Calcite, mushroom, quartz. I might use bone here instead of the mushroom. Or I might do bone calcite quartz. I don't know. I don't know. For now, I've got the shape in place. And you gotta have the shape in place before you can really start to color in the lines, you know? For now, thanks for coming today. Hope you had a chill time watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Gonna have us go raid someone. Hope you have a great one.
I'm so excited. That's so